Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are back with another tier list, and this one's going to be on Barcelona coaches. Here I have the last 9 Barca coaches in chronological order, and today we're going to talk about their career, their tenure at Barcelona, the impact that they left at Barcelona, the trophies that they won while at Barcelona, and based on that criteria, we're going to put them into one of 3 tiers, as you guys can see on the side. The 3 tiers are legend, decent, and bad. Just FYI, before we start ranking these managers, I want to make sure you guys know we are only looking at these guys' Barca career, okay? We're looking at the trophies that they won while at Barca. So for Pep, we're not taking into account Man City or Bayern Munich. For Luis Enrique, we're not looking at PSG or the Spanish national team. For what the fuck is his name? Ernesto Valverde. I blanked out his name for a second. We're not looking at Atletico Bilbao. We're just looking at their career at Barca and their tenure at Barca, and based on that criteria is how we're going to rank them. So it should be really fun. If you guys want to see me do this with any other teams, rank their managers, then let me know the team in the comment section. And yeah, let's get into this. There's a lot of good managers here, a lot of bad managers. I cannot wait to give you guys my opinion. Starting off with Frank Rijkaard, the Dutchman, to me is going to go into legend. That might be a little bit controversial, but I don't think it should be. I mean, when you look at Frank Rijkaard's resume as Barcelona manager, he won a UCL, he won 2 La Ligas, he won 2 Spanish Super Cups, and this guy, along with Joan Laporta and Ronaldinho, really brought Barcelona back to relevancy and to the club they were supposed to be. Because if people forget, with Louis van Gaal and Carles Reixac, like in the early 2000s, Barca had a couple years where they finished outside the top 3 in La Liga, and 1 year where they finished 6th. It was an embarrassment, bro. Like, they brought in Riquelme and that shit didn't work out. It was just really, everything around the club was bad. And then Joan Laporta comes in, he appoints Frank Rijkaard, they bring in Ronaldinho, and then after that, everything changed. The first season at the club, he won trophyless, but his second and third season, he won La Liga in his second season, he won La Liga and the UCL in his third season, I mean the Copa del Rey quarterfinal. Now his last season of the club, people remember obviously Barca won trophyless, and that was a bad season for the club, but they still made a UCL semifinal and lost to Man United, who ended up winning the whole thing. So to me, when I look at Frank Rijkaard, Barca have only managed to win 5 UCLs only, but they've won 5 UCLs in their history, and one of them is thanks to Frank Rijkaard. And that UCL campaign was amazing in 06, beating Benfica, beating Chelsea, who beat them actually the previous year. That Chelsea team obviously led by Jose Mourinho, and then you're obviously beating Milan, a historic Milan team who had come off, like they were in the midst of making a final in 05, then you knocked them out in the semifinals, and then they won the final in 07 obviously against Liverpool, and then they won the final against Arsene Wenger, Henry, Sol Campbell, and obviously in Paris against Arsenal. So when I look at Frank Rijkaard, man, this guy brought Barcelona back to relevancy, and some of the football that Barca played, obviously with Ronaldinho and Eto'o and Deco and Van Bommel and Van Bronckhorst, and this team was actually really, really good. Puyol as well, Rafa Marquez. I really enjoyed watching that Barca team play. Now, obviously, I didn't watch most of these teams mostly live like I do now because I was really young. But going back and watching some of that old Barca film, I've watched the whole UCL run in 06. I think the football that they played was really nice. But obviously, he gets a bad rap because he won trophies this last season. But don't forget, before that, this guy is one of our best managers in terms of like what he won and the significant trophies that he actually managed to acquire while he was at Barcelona. Moving on to Pep Guardiola, I mean, do I have to say anything, bro? Legend, our legend, the greatest manager in the history of football to me. This man at Barcelona won 2 UCLs, won 3 La Ligas, won 2 Copa del Reys, won 2 Club World Cups, won countless UEFA Super Cups. This guy's our legend, bro. This guy got promoted from Barca B, and no one ever thought he was going to become what he became. Not just the greatest manager in Barca history, the greatest manager in the history of football. And Pep Guardiola, bro, everybody knows what he's done at Man City. Everybody knows what he's done at Bayern Munich. He, like, his prime, his aura will always come from what he did at Barcelona. Those 4 years where he managed 2 of the 3 greatest teams in the history of football, in my opinion, won a treble in 09, his first season at the club, was 5 minutes away from winning a second treble in 2011. Never, like every season he got there. 09 won the UCL, 2010 semifinals, 2011 won the UCL, 2012 semifinals. The worst he ever finished in the UCL as Barca manager was in the semifinals. I mean, this guy, bro, he had a 99-point La Liga season. His last season at the club obviously wasn't great because we only managed to win the Copa del Rey. But then again, that Jose Mourinho Real Madrid team was historic. But to me, dude, Pep Guardiola is, like, he's amazing, bro. Like, the football that Barca played, all that, like, he brought up Busquets from the B team. I mean, all the players that he signed. This guy is a football genius, and at Barcelona is where he really made, like, that's his calling card, you know? That's where he made his mark. So to me, obviously, you guys know how good Pep Guardiola is. I don't really have to go on too much about him, even though I just did like 2 minutes on Pep Guardiola at Barcelona. But I love this guy, man. This guy is one of the reasons why so many people love Barcelona today. The style of football that they played and the trophies that they won and just the way they captured people's hearts, football fans' hearts. It was like you could watch your team lose to Barcelona and you would still have fun because of the beautiful way that they played. And that was all because of Pep Guardiola. The way he utilized Messi, the way he utilized Xavi, the way he utilized Iniesta, the way he utilized, just everything about this guy. He's a legend of the game, our legend of the game, hence why he's going into the legend tier. Moving on to Tito Vilanova. Tito to me is going to go into decent. Now, people might think that's harsh. As a football figure and as a Barca figure, Tito's a legend. But when it comes to as a manager, like his tenure, I'm going to put him in decent because he only won one trophy. He won a La Liga title and he only managed one season of the club. So some of these guys, they managed multiple seasons. Tito, unfortunately, only was able to manage one season because he was battling terminal cancer. And even with that, this guy still managed to get 100 points in a La Liga season, something that Pep Guardiola never did. None of these guys ever did that. Pep Guardiola, Luis Enrique, Ernesto Valverde, none of these guys got 100 points in La Liga. Tito Vilanova did that, and he won La Liga. Now, obviously, in the other two competitions, in the Copa del Rey, we got knocked out in the quarterfinals or maybe the semifinals by Real Madrid. And the UCL, we got spanked by Bayern Munich 7-0. But again, I think the morale of the team was a little bit down because obviously their manager is going through fucking cancer. So I'm not going to really blame him too much for that. And also that Barca team wasn't really the best Barca team because they were going through a transition period. Also, keep in mind, Tito Vilanova was the predecessor of the greatest manager that Barca have ever had. So anybody after Pep was going to be a step down because Pep left such a high bar. And still, Tito Vilanova, with all that being said, there's something that Pep never did, like I mentioned, which is win a La Liga season with triple digits. So to me, when I look at Tito Vilanova, bro, legend of the game. This guy, I mean, he was Pep's right-hand man for years at Barcelona. He was Pep's assistant manager for years while he was at Barca. Us Barca fans have a very special place in our heart for Tito Vilanova because this guy is a legend of the game. Rest in peace, man. What this guy did is so, like, it's amazing, bro. It's amazing. You write books about the shit that he did. And yeah, we'll never forget this guy. Rest in peace, Tito. Next, we got Tata Martino. I'm going to put Tata in bad, bro. Tata Martino has one of the weirdest tenures I can remember at Barcelona. Now, similar to Tito Vilanova, he only spent 1 year at the club, but unlike Tito, it's not because he passed away. It's because he got fired. And the reason why he got fired is because this guy had, like, what was this? I don't remember. Like, Tata Martino's style of play was so weird. It was a mixture of possession football, but also sending in 50 crosses a game. Like, it was kind of like what Xavi does now. I remember there was one game, I forget who it was against, but I think Dani Alves must have sent in like 35 crosses. I mean, this guy just loved crossing the ball constantly. Now, his first half of the season at Barca, he was actually pretty decent. He got some good results. We won a Clásico that year with Tito Vilanova in the Camp Nou. That game where Neymar scored one and Alexis Sanchez scored a banger. That goal where he chipped it over Diego Lopez from like outside of the box. It was a beautiful goal. If you haven't seen that goal, by the way, maybe I'll put a clip right here. But yeah, that fucking goal was it was a banger. I remember watching that with my family, and I was going crazy. But Tata Martino, to me, I'm not a big fan of him as a manager overall. I don't think he's been good anywhere he's been. I mean, obviously in South America, he was decent. He won like a couple titles with Uruguay, like not Uruguay, but he won a couple titles in the Uruguay league. But he never won a Libertadores. He's never won a league title in South America or in Europe. He's never won a UCL. And obviously, we're talking about Barca here, but I just wanted to go a little bit more in depth on on Tata Martino. I just don't think he's that good of a manager. I think we finished second with him in La Liga. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals by Atletico Madrid. In the UCL, we got knocked out by Real Madrid once again. I think in the semifinals. No, that was in the final actually. He made a Copa del Rey final. That was the game that Gareth Bale skinned Marc Bartra. So he made a Copa del Rey final, but we lost to our biggest rival. And then also he won a Spanish Super Cup, but to me, I don't really value that because it's not that big of a trophy. But yeah, Tito Vilanova, to me, his tenure wasn't that great. He's gonna go into bad. Not really anything else to say. Moving on to Luis Enrique. He's gonna go into legend for me, no debate about that, along with the two other managers that won UCLs with Barcelona. Lucho's weird, bro. He gave, like, obviously we as Barca fans, we love him. He won us a treble our first season there with MSN, and it was just magical, bro. That first season was like a la Pep. First season at the club, boom, treble right away. Doesn't get any bigger than that. But you could honestly argue, and I want to know what you guys think. Let me know, Barca fans, in the comment section, what you think of this take. You could argue Luis Enrique underachieved with Barcelona, especially with the time that he had with MSN. Now, keep in mind, those Barca defenses were pretty shit. They were nothing to write home about. But keep in mind, like, we win the UCL in 2015 in dominant fashion, beating the champions of every single top 5 league in doing so. We win La Liga, we win the Copa del Rey, and then in 2016, we win La Liga, we win Copa del Rey again, but in the UCL quarterfinals, we lose to Atletico Madrid. And post the international break in March, that team was subpar. And then the next year after that, you get spanked 4-0 by PSG in the first leg in the round of 16 of the UCL, and then you need a legendary comeback in the second leg to come back and actually go through outside of the round, out of the round of 16. And then in the next round, you get spanked by Juventus 3-0. In 2 legs, I think you created 2 2 clear-cut chances through 2 legs. Through 180 minutes of football, I think he created 2 clear-cut chances. He won 2 La Ligas, he won 2 Copa del Reyes, or 3 Copa... No, he won 3 Copa del Reyes, actually. Yeah, Lucho won 3, because he won it in 14, 15, 15, 16. We also won the Copa del Rey in 17, 18. Yeah, so Lucho actually won 3 Copa del Reyes, so that's pretty, obviously, remarkable. But, again, he's a legend of the club. You don't win a treble with Barcelona and you're not a legend, but I just think Lucho could have done a lot more, man. I really wish he could have gotten more out of MSN, because that trio had so much, it had so much juice, bro, and we just couldn't get it out of them. But again, I'm not blaming that totally on Lucho, because Barca was just it was also some of the players. But dude, he's a legend, man. He's a legend. When you win a UCL for Barca and you win a treble in doing so, we gotta put you in legend. Moving on to Ernesto Valverde. People might think I'm being harsh here. I'm gonna put him in bad. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. This guy had the possibility, the opportunity of being in that top tier with Pep, Rijkaard, and Luis Enrique, and because of his own fucking stubbornness, he can't be there. Now, he won 2 La Ligas, almost won invincible in a La Liga season, won a Copa del Rey, won some other fucking trophy, won a Spanish Super Cup, I'm pretty sure. But this guy, what people remember Ernesto Valverde for is Anfield and Roma, and that's what he should be remembered for. 2 games, two ties in the UCL, one in the quarterfinals, one in the semifinal, where this guy got outcoached and had his head up his ass for the whole for 180 minutes. Embarrassing, bro. I'll never forgive him for Roma, and I for sure will never forgive him for Liverpool. Fuck winning a league title. You had Messi in 2019 at the peak of his powers. It's Messi, bro. He was single-handedly carrying you to a treble. He was literally saying, I'm going to carry you, just don't fuck it up. And you go ahead and you fuck it up. And against Roma, bro. Your game plan against Roma, fucking terrible. You don't make substance to the 80th minute. Against Liverpool, fucking sitting back. What was that? Letting them attack you at Anfield, not going out and trying to be proactive and get a fucking goal to seal the tie. I'm sorry, bro. I'm an emotional fan. People might think I'm being harsh because this guy, again, he won 2 league titles. He won more league titles than Tito Vilanova. But Tito also, like I said, he only spent 1 season at the club. But to me, Ernesto Valverde had the potential to be a legendary manager. And he just couldn't do it, bro. Also, his style of play was extremely fucking boring. I mean, one of the worst here, honestly. There was some games where I would watch Barca and I'd fall asleep because I just thought the style of play was really boring. It was mostly just Messi doing whatever the fuck he wanted because Messi was that good with him. But I think Ernesto Valverde gets carried by Messi. Those 2 seasons with Messi where Neymar left and Messi was just like, I'll put on the Superman cape, I'll do it all myself. And that's what happened. But still, even Messi was so good and he still got sabotaged by this fucking guy because he had no idea what he was doing. I'm sorry, like I said, people might think I'm being harsh, but I will never forgive this man for Liverpool and I will never forgive this man for Roma. Those 2 games will be in infamy. Will forever live in infamy in Barcelona fans' heart as they should be because this guy completely fucked up 2 chances for us to win another UCL. I'll never forgive him. Moving on to Quique Setién, of course, he's going to go right in there into bad. This guy spent, 6 or 7 months, 8 months at Barcelona. He got appointed in January and got fired in August of 2020, obviously the pandemic year. And this guy's most memorable moment as Barca manager was an 8-2 loss to Bayern Munich. So yeah, to me, Quique Setién went trophyless at Barcelona. Messi was sick and tired of this guy. I mean, the whole team. I'm not gonna put this on Quique Setién because that Barca team was fucking horrific. But still, this guy did not help the team at all. And yeah, he's just one of the worst managers that I've ever seen. So I'm gonna put him into bad. There's really no debate about this. Moving on to Ronald Koeman, bad. Ronald Koeman was bad. He won 1 trophy while at Barcelona, and that was a Copa del Rey in 2021. Well, let's be honest, that was a Messi carry job. This guy's whole tenure at Barca gets carried because Messi was there. And we saw the second Messi left, this guy's results went down, and he got fired by November of that year. Messi left, and obviously in August, by November, Ronald Koeman was gone. This guy was horrific, man. What a terrible manager this guy was. He's a club legend. Scored the winning goal in the 1992 European Cup final from a free kick in extra time. This guy's a club legend, but as a manager, he's part of one of the darkest periods that Barca have ever gone through. Again, similar to Quique Setién, he didn't have the best squad quality to work with, especially because after Messi left, I mean, Mingueza and Dest and fucking Colado and fucking Collado, this team wasn't really that great. But to me, I mean, Ronald Koeman really, again, like Quique Setién, he didn't help the situation whatsoever. Yeah, this guy was bad. I mean, his crying, like one of his most memorable moments is obviously conceding 3 goals in the second half to Celta Vigo to obviously drop points in that game where Barca were up 3-0 in the first half. This guy was just one of the worst managers I've ever seen. As a tactician, he was subpar at best. Just actually really fucking bad. Subpar is being nice. He was a shitty tactician. So for me, Ronald Koeman, I mean, not really a hot take. He's gonna go into bad. And then finishing up with Xavi Hernandez, who's the current manager, of course, right now. I'm going to be nice and put Xavi in decent along with Tito Vilanova because he won, obviously, a La Liga. That's the only trophy that he's won at Barcelona, besides the Spanish Super Cup, obviously, last year as well. But I'm talking about, like, major trophy, one of the big 3s. He's only won La Liga. I'm I'm being nice here. I could very easily put Xavi into bad a la Ernesto Valverde because there's more dark moments with Xavi than there's great moments. Obviously, recently, as you guys know, we lost the Spanish Super Cup final to Real Madrid and got spanked 4-1. In Europe, Xavi's been a disappointment to say the least. This season, the UCL campaign was underwhelming, and we had the easiest group out of every team, every big team. In the Europa League, he's been underwhelming. He lost to Frankfurt and he lost to Man United. Erik ten Hag, by the way, Manchester United, last year. And we know how fucking shit Erik ten Hag looks now. The year before in the UCL, obviously, we got grouped with our group with Bayern and Inter. In La Liga, this season, it looks like we're going to finish outside the top 3 because his Barca team does not look like it's good. The year before, like his first season of the club, we finished second after being ninth, so that's really good for him. Like for the club, obviously, that was a good thing that he did, a good turnaround. But I just think Xavi's a project manager. I don't think Xavi's the guy who can take us to new heights. Again, I would love to be wrong, like I always say, because I love this guy as a player. He's a footballing legend. I would love to see him, like Pep Guardiola, win the European Cup for Barca as a player and as a manager. I just don't think that's going to happen with Xavi. I don't see it. I'm getting sick and tired of watching this guy's brand of football. It's bad. It's boring. His management is terrible. Just really everything about Barca right now is pretty bad, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the manager is just not good enough. Again, people might disagree, but that's just my personal opinion. So for that reason, I'm going to put Xavi into decent because he won La Liga, and I want to pay him some respect in that sense. But I could very easily, if I wanted to, put this guy in bad. And that, guys, is the end of the video. I hope you guys like the tier list. I mean, as you guys can see, we have 3 legends. We have 4 bad managers and 2 indecent. Barca, honestly, are not the best club when it comes to appointing managers. They either hit a home run or they strike out, as we can see right here. People might think I was a little bit harsh with Ernesto Valverde, but again, that's just my personal, those are just my memories of him. So yeah, that's just gonna be where I put him. Like some people might think he's decent, I'm just gonna put him in bad. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I love every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, like I said, any other team you want to see me do this with, let me know in the comment section. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.